Hello guys, how are you? Today's topic is on Rajya Sabha. What do you mean by Rajya Sabha? This is very important for your UPSC, PCS and IAS exams. Rajya Sabha is also known as Upper House or Council of States. Basically, Rajya Sabha is a part of the Parliament of India. What constitutes Parliament of India? Parliament means President, who is the executive head of India, plus Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house or council of states, plus Lok Sabha, which is also called lower house or house of people. So basically Rajya Sabha is part of the Parliament of India. In today's lecture we will be dealing only with Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha represents different states in the Parliament. Different states are represented in the Parliament through Rajya Sabha. So in Rajya Sabha, the MPs there in Rajya Sabha are elected through the MLAs of different states. So MPs of the Rajya Sabha are not directly elected by us, that is people of India. MPs, member parliaments of Lok Sabha, are directly elected by us, that is people of India, but MPs of Rajya Sabha are not directly elected by the people of India. So how they are elected? Basically they are elected by the elected representatives. Rajya Sabha MPs are elected by the elected representatives of the people in different states, that is MLAs. MLAs of different state legislatures elect among themselves the members who are to be sent to Rajya Sabha. So, for example, Punjab has a quota of 7 seats in Rajya Sabha. So, the MLAs of Punjab, they themselves choose among themselves the persons who are to be sent to Rajya Sabha. So, the more the population of the state, the more the seats given to that state to represent itself in the Rajya Sabha. So, basically, there is indirect election of the MPs of Rajya Sabha. There is no direct election as that of Lok Sabha MPs. Is it clear? So total numbers, basically this is the diagram of Rajya Sabha. Here is the chairman. Venkaiah Naidu at present is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. He is also the vice president of India. Just because he is the vice president of India, he also performs the duty of chairman. This is known as he performs duty as a chairman because he is also the vice president of India. So once a person becomes a vice president of India, he automatically becomes the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So this is known as ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. If chairman is not there on his seat, then the duty is performed by deputy chairman. So this is the chart of Rajya Sabha. To the left of chairman sits the opposition members. To the right of the chairman sits the government members. Government members, I mean council of ministers. That is, these are the treasury benches. To the right side of the chairman is the treasury benches. Who sit on the treasury benches? The council of ministers. At present BJP is ruling India. So BJP members, council of members, sit on the treasury benches to the right side of the chairman. So basically this is the executive. It represents these persons represent the government, and opposition members are sitting on the left side of the chairman. So this is the chart of Rajya Sabha. So important points regarding Rajya Sabha are: total members Rajya Sabha can have is 250. So 250 members are the total members which a Rajya Sabha can have. That is 250 MPs. How 250 MPs? This is the way. 238 plus 12 is equal to 250 members. 238 members represent the states and UTs. There are 31 states and 7 UTs. So 238 members are representing the states and UTs. I have already told you the mode of election. They are not directly elected by the people of India as Lok Sabha MPs. They are indirectly elected. That is, they are elected by the MLAs of different states among themselves. Plus 12 members are nominated by the president. Who people are nominated? Those 12 members who have special knowledge or practical experience in arts, science, social service and literature. So total becomes 238 plus 12 is equal to 250 members. Currently, at current situation, there are 245 members in Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha members are elected 5 MLAs of different states among themselves. So no direct election, I've already told you. Every state has a fixed quota to send its representatives to Rajya Sabha. Every state has fixed quota. The more the population of the state, the more members it can send to Rajya Sabha. Every state has been given a fixed quota. UP is the state with having the largest population in India. So UP has the maximum MPs in parliament, that is even in Rajya Sabha and as well as in Lok Sabha. So next point is Rajya Sabha is not subject to dissolution, but 1/3 members retire after every expiry of every second year. So Rajya Sabha, like Lok Sabha, does not dissolve after 5 years. Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. It never dissolves. This is very important point. How it is a permanent house? That is, the members of Rajya Sabha, each member of Rajya Sabha enjoy a full term of 6 years. Like in Lok Sabha, the MP enjoys the term of 5 years. After 5 years, there is new elections, but this is not in the Lok Sabha. This is not in Rajya Sabha. In Rajya Sabha, each MP enjoys 6-year term, full 6-year term. But after every second year, 1/3 members of the Rajya Sabha retire. That means after every second year, 1/3 members of the Rajya Sabha retire automatically, and new members are chosen, in their place. But one member enjoys total term of 6 years. So total term which is enjoyed by one member of Rajya Sabha is 6 years. But after every second year, 1/3 members of Rajya Sabha retire. This is the way. It's a permanent house. It does not dissolve. Then, no money bill can be introduced in Rajya Sabha. This is very important. Money bill is not introduced in Rajya Sabha. Money bill is introduced only in Lok Sabha. Now, what is money bill? This I will be telling you in another lecture. It's a very complex topic. I will be telling you about money bill in another topic. For the time being, just you mark this out, that money bill can never be initiated in Rajya Sabha. Money bill can be initiated only in Lok Sabha. And Rajya Sabha can keep money bill for its consideration only for 14 days. If money bill is initiated in Lok Sabha, then after first reading, second reading and third reading, it is sent to Rajya Sabha for its recommendations. Rajya Sabha may keep that money bill for giving its recommendation to Lok Sabha for maximum of 14 days. After 14 days, it is deemed to be passed by Rajya Sabha, whether Rajya Sabha give its recommendations or not. So, as far as money bill is concerned, Rajya Sabha has no power. As far as ordinary bill is concerned, Rajya Sabha has much powers. Now, Rajya Sabha keeps check on the Lok Sabha in case of hasty legislation. So, if Lok Sabha is very hastily tries to pass a bill and try to make it a law, then Rajya Sabha keeps a check on the Lok Sabha. So Lok Sabha may be having a tendency to hastily or fastly make a law. So law made in a fast way, it will lead to chaos. It may be every law should be discussed very lengthily. So every law should be discussed prior to its assent by the president. So Rajya Sabha keep a check on Lok Sabha. There should not be any hasty legislation. We are a democracy. So law 130 crore people are living here. So every law made by the parliament should be checked twice by the Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha keeps an eye on the Lok Sabha, and Rajya Sabha basically it's a revising house. So when a bill is passed by Lok Sabha in first reading, second reading, and third reading, then it goes to I'm talking about ordinary bill, not money bill. So it goes to Rajya Sabha. In Rajya Sabha, same process is followed: first reading, second reading, and third reading. So after that, if Rajya Sabha recommends something, it recommends some changes, it recommends some amendments to the bill, it again sends that bill to Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha then may take into consideration the amendments proposed by the Rajya Sabha. In this way, the bill is made in a perfect way, and then that bill goes to the president for his assent. Then it becomes a law. So Rajya Sabha keeps eye on the Lok Sabha so that Lok Sabha does not hastily or fastly pass a legislation which will affect lots of people of India, because ultimately if wrong law is passed, if the wrong law or bad law is passed by Lok Sabha, then ultimately it will be declared null and void by the Supreme Court, because if it touches the basic structure of the Constitution of India, then it can be declared null and void by the Supreme Court. So before it is declared null and void by the Supreme Court, it is better to check it and revise it again and again and make some amendments so that it can easily pass through the scrutiny of the basic structure of the Constitution of India. So last is basically this is the role the Rajya Sabha plays. Then the other thing is qualifications of the members of Rajya Sabha. So what are the qualifications of MP of a Rajya Sabha? It's very important for your exam purpose. First is the MP who is in Rajya Sabha, he should be a citizen of India. It's a basic requirement. Then he should at least be 30 years of age. As far as Lok Sabha is concerned, he should be 25 years of age, and MP, he should be 25 years of age minimum. As far as Rajya Sabha is concerned, he should be 30 years of age. And third is, as far as Rajya Sabha MP is concerned, he should not be undischarged insolvent, very important. And fourth is, he should not be declared unsound by any court of India. So next point is, Prime Minister can be a member of either house, that is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So Prime Minister can be a member of either house. He can be a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. For example, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, he was the member of Rajya Sabha. He was not the member of Lok Sabha. Then the important point is quorum for a Rajya Sabha meeting. Quorum means minimum. Quorum means minimum MPs required for a meeting to be held. It is not possible that 245 MPs will be present in every meeting, but meeting is to be held. So what is the minimum requirement of the MPs to be present so that the meeting can be held? It is 1/10 of the total members of the Rajya Sabha. So as far as 245 members are concerned, in these current situation, currently the total members are 245. So quorum becomes 1/10 of 245. That is 245 into 1/10. It becomes 25 members. So 25 members at present is the quorum required to a meeting for a meeting to be held in a Rajya Sabha. So this was the chart of Rajya Sabha. It covers all the main important basic points of Rajya Sabha, and it is very useful for your PCS and UPSC exams. I hope you have liked the lecture. Do subscribe my channel so that I will be giving you more and more informative videos in future. In the next lecture, we will be dealing with Lok Sabha. So nice of you. Thank you. Best of luck.